Let's talk about a tech job that you've probably never heard of, but one that is absolutely exploding in demand right now. We're going to pull back the curtain on what might be one of the biggest hidden gems in the entire industry.
Just think about that for a second. A massive salary, almost no competition, and the biggest companies in the world are lining up to hire you. It sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? But this is very real, and it's happening as we speak.
And we're not talking about some fantasy number here. This is the reality for senior and principal level pros in this field. $250,000 or more. And that's often just the base salary before you even start talking about bonuses or stock options.
All right, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll reveal this hidden job, then we'll get into why it even exists, the cloud's big money problem. We'll meet the hero of our story, talk about the insane salary and demand, lay out a clear roadmap for you to get started, and finally, talk about why now is the time to jump in. Okay, so what is this mystery role? It's called a FinOps engineer. And yeah, if you're scratching your head right now, you are definitely not alone. It's a super new field that's all about blending finance with tech to solve a huge, and I mean huge, problem for companies today.
So what exactly is FinOps? Well, at its heart, it's pretty simple. It's about stopping companies from setting money on fire in the cloud. You know, with services like Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure, costs can change every single second. FinOps is the practice of getting that chaos under control. And that brings us to the core reason this job is so critical. For most companies, the cloud is kind of like the Wild West when it comes to money. There are no rules, and it's absolute chaos.
And when I say chaos, I'm not exaggerating. We're talking about companies just bleeding cash, millions of dollars evaporating because nobody's watching the meter.
So get this, the average company wastes about 30% of its total cloud spend. 30%. Just gone. To put that in perspective, if a company spends $10 million a year on the cloud, that's $3 million vanishing into thin air.
And this quote just paints the perfect picture of how easily this happens. It's so simple, it's scary. A developer makes one little mistake on a Friday, forgets to turn something off, and bam! By Monday, that's $15,000 down the drain. Now imagine that happening across a company with hundreds of developers. You can see how this spirals out of control, fast.
So who comes in to save the day? Who solves this multi-million-dollar mess? That's where our hero, the FinOps engineer, steps in.
I love this analogy. The best way to think about them is as financial detectives for the cloud. They're the ones digging through all the data, looking for clues, hunting down the source of the waste, and stopping the financial bleeding. And let's be super clear here. This is a hands-on, technical role. We're not talking about accountants with spreadsheets. These folks are in the trenches, writing code, like Python scripts, to automatically shut down servers that aren't being used. They're building live dashboards so everyone can see the spending in real time. They are even teaching other engineers how to build smarter, cheaper systems from the very beginning. So naturally, when your job is to literally save your company millions of dollars, you'd expect the pay to be pretty good, right? Well, you'd be correct. And right now, the demand for these skills is just off the charts. Just look at this career ladder. You can start out as an analyst and already be pulling in six figures. From there, you climb the ranks to engineer, senior engineer, and by the time you become an architect or a principal, you're looking at well over $200,000, maybe even closer to $300,000. It's a clear and very lucrative path. So why is this all happening right now? Well, it's basically a perfect storm of three major trends hitting all at once. First, companies are spending an absolutely mind-boggling amount on the cloud, and that number is just going up. Second, the economy is a bit shaky, right? So every CFO is scrutinizing every single dollar. And third, and this is the big one for you, there is a massive skills gap. There just aren't enough people who know how to do this job. This chart says it all, really. You've got demand for FinOps professionals growing by 300% year over year. It's just skyrocketing. But the supply, the number of people in the entire world who can actually do this job is less than 10,000. I mean, that's a classic supply and demand problem. And if you can be the supply, you are in a very, very good position. Okay, so you're probably thinking, this sounds amazing, but how in the world do I get started? Well, the great news is there's actually a surprisingly clear and actionable roadmap to break into this field. Here it is, your 4-step plan. Step 1, you've got to learn the cloud basics. Just pick one, AWS, Azure, whatever, and get a fundamental certification. Step 2, get the official FinOps certification. It's the gold standard. 3, brush up on some basic scripting.
Python is a fantastic choice. And finally, step 4, prove you can do it. Use a free cloud account, build a small project, and create a portfolio. Seriously, you could knock all of this out in 6 to 12 months.
And just look at the return on that investment. It's incredible. You might spend, a few $100 on certifications and maybe half a year to a year of studying in your spare time? The potential return on that is a starting salary of over $115,000 and a long-term career in one of the hottest fields in tech. That's a no-brainer. Okay, so this is the part where I want you to lean in a little closer. This is all about the early adopter advantage. It's not just about an opportunity, it's about a window of opportunity.
Check out these numbers from the FinOps Foundation. In 2021, they had just 2,000 members. 3 years later, 12,000. The secret is getting out, and it's growing like a weed. But, and this is the key, it is still early. The market is not saturated yet.
And this is so important. The people who jump in now, the ones who get these certifications and learn these skills today, they're not just getting a job. They are positioning themselves for leadership. In 5 years, when every single tech company has a FinOps team, and they will, the people who started today are going to be the ones running them.
So I'm just going to leave you with this final thought. We're at one of those rare moments where a brand new, incredibly high-value field is just beginning to take off. The path is clear, the demand is undeniable, and the rewards are immense. So the question is, in 5 years, are you going to be leading one of these teams, or are you going to be wishing you had started today?